people. Welcome back to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. I'm out of hiding. We are here to go over Basketball Wives. James does work nights. I did invite him to this live. To keep it a buck, he probably fell right back asleep. We'll see if he joins, but the show must go on. I do appreciate everybody's patience as well. I was supposed to be live yesterday. Ooh, my camera looked all sorts of crazy. Anywho, I was supposed to be live yesterday, but I had a lot going on. I'm also considering getting rid of the music reactions and reviews and things on my channel. But lots of changes will come. We will see. Anywho, we're here to go over episode number 10 of season 12, which was titled Go Deadbeat Go. This episode was so triggering in so many different directions and avenues, and it was just triggering and annoying. I'm sorry, y'all, I got hot in this hot ass robe. It was just a lot. It was a lot. I feel like a lot of the stuff that happened this episode really didn't need to happen, if that makes sense. And I also feel like it's crazy to see a bunch of women of color in a group not understanding the true meaning of minding your business. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's jump right on into the episode. The episode starts with Jennifer and Brandy. They're meeting up and they're talking about everything that they saw that was going crazy. Now, Jennifer and Brandy are both bothered about a comment that Jackie made in the last episode where she basically made a comment like she's not willing to talk to Chantel unless it's her space, her way to have control. And then she made a comment like, oh, I'll talk to Chantel on my talk show or, on my terms. And I feel like that was effed up of Jackie to say. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, so basically, Jackie could say, I love my daughter. And in my opinion, they would find something wrong with it. I think the issue I have with this cast is that we've all known Jackie has been alleged to not be the greatest parent. Now they're coming back and they're trying to make it a thing. I'm not surprised by any of it personally. But it's a bad thing to say, but at the same time, I feel like everybody is so busy painting Jackie to be a bad person, which she's not the greatest person, but we should also look at Chantel. Y'all mad at Jackie because she said after repeatedly since the first episode of this season, trying to talk to Chantel in private away from these women, Chantel hasn't been with it. Chantel came on the season feeling a way about her mom, but not explaining really why. Now, the women don't want to talk to Jackie because she's made a comment about only being willing to talk to Chantel on her talk show. But Chantel seems to only be willing to talk to Jackie on this show. Why is Jackie expected to basically give in to what her daughter wants regardless and is held to a higher standard, but Chantel is not? This is not like a 10-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 25-year-old. Like, this is a 30-plus-year-old woman. So I just feel like everybody needs to keep the same energy. But really the worst part of the whole scene was Brandy's wig. I don't think you should. Like, some things you just don't need to put in a wig. Y'all take these trends too far and then wonder why I'm just saying. People do the most with wigs and all this crazy stuff. Brandy, just get your hair braided. But I know she cut her hair off, so she can't. But why cut your hair off if you just gonna want to get it braided? I didn't understand that. Not every wig looks good, and Brandy's wig scared me. Moving forward, y'all, the next scene we see is pretty small. It's Denise in a car trying to call Jackie fake again. And the only reason I'm bringing this up because nothing else really happened from that scene is because Denise, you're calling Jackie fake, but you don't even have your own mind. You just got here. We don't know where you come from. You were never even important enough to be a fiance. You was just a girlfriend. So I'm looking at Denise like, what do you have to show us for your life? What do you do every day? Where do you go? Like, what is this? And I feel like Brittany does this as well. They have so much to say about everybody else, but they're not keeping it a buck with their own stuff. So I'm over Denise. I'm over it. But we're going to move forward. The women are on board with Jackie and Chantel, and it seems as though Jackie says, because they're on a boat, and Jackie's like, oh, I sent Shani a message, like, I still love you, look at me, I'm beautiful on this boat, which is kooky. I'm like, Jackie, you know your daughter is mad as hell at you. Why would you even fix yourself to record yourself on a boat having a good time, just showing your daughter, like, hey, I'm unaffected by all of your childhood trauma? I don't agree with how Chantel is going about addressing her issues with her mother. And I think Chantel is just as bad as her mom and is looking for a check, honestly. However, regardless of Chantel's inconsistent and irrelevant reasons to feel this way towards her mama, I'm kind of looking at Jackie like, why would you do that to your child? Like, you don't, that doesn't even have to be your child. Like, I'm not going to send a video to myself having a great fucking time by somebody who I have clearly upset to points where their whole life's mission seems to be coming at me. Like, Jackie, you should care a little bit, because if you care about someone, you should be impacted if they feel away. Even if you haven't done anything to them, you should still care to clear it up, which I do think Jackie cares too, but also she sometimes like rubs salt in the wound, which I don't quite understand. But when she makes the comment about sending the little video to her daughter, Denise once again chimes into business that has nothing to do with her and says, oh, did she unblock you? When I tell you Denise is one of those few people on TV, I want to knock her fucking teeth in. I really do. Because I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's I just don't like it. Why are you joking and berating this woman because her daughter has blocked her? If you actually cared about Chantel the way you claim you do, Denise, as Evelyn said, Miss, I look 40, but I'm not even 30 yet. If you really cared about Chantel, then you wouldn't be poking her mom. You would be doing everything you could to reason with her mom to get her to hear your friend out. But instead, Chantel and Brittany, they just throw insults and disrespect Jackie. And regardless, that's still their elder. So I'm looking at them with the side eye like, who raised y'all? But we know who raised Brittany. And whoever raised Denise didn't do a good job, because all we know about her is he had a baby with a baller and didn't get much else out of it. So just saying. But Jackie then takes Denise's comment and uses it as a segue to ask, like, do you guys think that I love my daughter? And I'm just like, okay, this is where I don't like Jackie at all. Who the fudge ask a question like that? Like, hey, do you think I love my husband? Do you think I love my daughter? Do you think I love my auntie? Who does this? It's not normal. So Jackie asked them this question. And for the most part, the group was like, yeah, we know that you love your daughter, but we want you to work it out. Except for the three stooges, the three levels of stupid, I like to call them. They don't see it that way. And I'm like, just because a mother mistreats their child, just because a father mistreats their child, hell, just because somebody does something that they're not supposed to or that can harm someone, doesn't actually technically mean they don't love them. I do think Jackie put herself in this predicament because you asked these women if they thought you loved a baby. Some of them said they do and held you accountable, and the other half said that you don't and was just trying to attack you. But regardless, you can't ask them something and then run off. This is the one time where it's like, okay, Jackie, you brought up the topic of your daughter. Why would you bring up that topic? Why would you even ask a question like that? Do you think I love your daughter? Her asking that question, I know it sounds dramatic to a lot of y'all, but her asking that question actually made me like, now I'm questioning you, because why would you think to even ask? And why do you give a fuck if other people think you love your child? I don't have kids, but I wouldn't care if somebody had an opinion on if I love my child or not. I just would not. That's my opinion. But I really want everyone to stop coming at Jackie. Just stop talking about it. Because if we subtract Chantel and Jackie Christie from this season, what would we be looking at? We would still be stuck with Evelyn and Jen's 10-year drama. 10 years, they're going to have the AARP cards, and they're going to be arguing with each other. And everyone attacking what? Nothing. Like, without Jackie and Chantel as a focal point, there's not really shit to talk about with these women. Because we tired of Brandy and Jason. We sick of them. She's going through this slow-ass process to realize he ain't for her. We're sick of Evelyn because she's Shawnee's minion and not going to do anything. Jennifer, at this point, is a scammer just like the rest of the men she dates. I can't with her. And we can't really come at her because that is her husband. And I don't know why Ming Lee is here or how she got here, but I don't see her for the show. It just makes me respect her less as a businesswoman. And that's primarily what I knew her as. So they don't have nothing without talking about Jackie and Chantel. And Chantel, you don't have shit to show that's interesting either, except for you being a spoiled brat that's upset with your mama about nothing. From what I can see. Now, if Chantel was Takari, the older daughter, on this show, I would feel like, okay, I get that. But she still cannot verbalize to us what was done. She just kept, you were barely a parent. But then a couple seasons ago, you was defending your mom and how she was a good parent to your sister who experienced something bad. So now because you mad and can't get your way, probably now suddenly Jackie's the enemy. I see it. And I think Ty was right with what she said at the end of this show. Chantel is a baby Jackie just running rogue, just like her, even has the same neck. They are just the same. Now, Evelyn does pull Chantel aside on the trip, and they finally talk and they discuss what Brittany and Denise said, because an episode or two ago, Evelyn became their new op. This is so childish. And I'd like to speak for people under 30. Not everybody under the age of 30 behaves like these dingbats. I want to make that very clear. Not everybody who is 30 to 40, anybody under 40, that we don't all act like this. These are terrible examples. Okay, you got the fake ass hood Muslim who's only wearing a hijab for some dick that don't really belong to her, with just as quiet as it's kept. And then we got the girl who got pregnant by the man who gets any random pregnant. So we know ain't nothing special about her. It don't take much to get pregnant. And then you got the spoiled Nepo baby that's suddenly mad at the mama that she defended publicly. I can't with these three women. I just cannot. So Evelyn and Chantel talk, and I don't know. I just don't like when Evelyn was explaining, like, it seems like Denise said this, and, you know, it turned into Evelyn's a problem, and Evelyn's explaining her point. And when Chantel talks, she's like, well, and, you know, you guys just can't keep doing this to us. No one's done anything to y'all as a collective. Evelyn is talking to you one-on-one, so speak for your fucking self, Chantel. What is wrong with her? Why are you mentioning yourself and Denise and Brittany in plural, as if you can't move without them? I would love for VH1, since Chantel want to be on this show and in her mama's face, I would love VH1 to keep Jackie, get rid of Brittany and Denise, get rid of Evelyn, bring in some whole new people or something. Go find some niggas in Austria. Find some people who don't know about the situation, and I would love to see how she operates. Because I have a feeling if she didn't have castmates like Brittany and Denise, or if it wasn't castmates who have already had beefs with Jackie and who've exposed her as being a less than perfect mother, I promise y'all, Chantel would probably be siding with her mom in any other circumstance. I promise y'all. I see through all of it, all the BS. But none of it makes sense. Jackie does end up, and Chantel, you had all that smoke for Evelyn, and then when you finally talked to her, you just gave in. You just gave in because she has no argument. Well, you have a history of coming from my family. She can't say that because now she's doing the same thing. The enemy of your enemy is your friend, and I think Chantel has figured that out by coming on the show. I truly do. But Evelyn does some effed up stuff like we know Evelyn would do. She takes it a step further and decides to tell Chantel about the comments that Jackie made saying that she would only be willing to talk to her on her talk show or on her own terms. I did not like how anybody handled this because though Jackie is shady, she's been saying from episode 1, I'm not interested in getting involved in drama with my daughter. I'm not interested in helping her to defeat stuff. And that's really what Chantel's hella mad about. But she got into it with Brandy, and then Jackie was still cool with her. But Chantel did the most with Brandy for no reason. And when Brandy held her accountable and she couldn't look like the angel, then she suddenly somehow blamed it on her mom and now has a problem with her. Like, if people actually watch the season and get out of their own feelings and triggers and stop deflecting their own stuff with their parents onto what they watch on TV, they would see that. Mind you, I am estranged from my own mom, but I'm a full believer that after so long, instead of making things worse or putting yourself in a predicament where you could lose your cool or tear each other down, distance and say nothing negative. But to go and try and fight and do all this extra stuff is crazy. Jackie is wrong to say that, but I do kind of feel like she also may have said it like, y'all want me to talk to her on her terms on camera in front of a bunch of bitches I don't like, so how about she come on my show and talk on my terms on camera in front of a bunch of people? And I think that's the point Jackie may be trying to make. Like, it's very clear, like, Chantel don't know these people, but it's bleeding her soul, allegedly, to these women. So why not do it on a TV network or on a TV show on YouTube? Why not, Chantel? But as a mom, Jackie, she has to, like, Jackie needs to move better. Like, as a mom, you should have care. But at the same time, this is like a 30-plus-year-old woman. So stop, Jackie. Just stop. But it upsets the hell out of Chantel. I don't get why Evelyn would say that to her, though. Like, you know, she's looking for a reason to be mad and go off. That's what you know. So why tell her that? Evelyn did that knowing it would upset her. Moving forward, we once again encourage Chantel on my channel, go to therapy, girl. This is not the platform. But Chantel then goes to Jennifer for clarification after hearing that from Evelyn. And Jennifer confirms that her mom did say that. And then Jennifer, because she is Evelina's ex-bestie, so they have to be the same. Birds of a feather, y'all. I say it all the time. Jennifer decides she's going to tell Chantel, oh, not only did your mama say that, but she also says she got grandparents' rights. Which, understandably, this is the one side I do understand Chantel. Chantel lost her shit. That pissed her off. She's like, you don't want me to crash out? Girl, you've been crashing out for 10 episodes. I don't think you know it. But I guess your kids, I can understand how that would trigger you. Here's the thing. I understand Chantel's comment she made in a confessional about, like, you want to have access to my kids, but you don't want to communicate with me. No, baby girl, your mom has tried to communicate with you. The problem is you want to hear what you want to hear in the way that you want to hear it, where you want to hear it, when you want to hear it. It gives me, like, in a perfect world, let's say Jackie was like, I want to work this out. Let's get therapists. You could choose a therapist, but I'm not going to talk about it with these girls, right? Like, if Jackie were to do the right thing by Chantel, Chantel would, I feel like, still have a problem. I just really feel that way. However, I think it's fucking not even third grade. Kindergartners understand that sharing is caring. I don't know what the hell we call this. We just gonna call this ignorant and you never got to school. Kids understand that you cannot make people pick a side. Like, you can't. Expecting these women who have been knowing your mother for years and filming with just her to take your side now that you're here, when they still filmed with Jackie and made peace with Jackie after the horrible things came out about her not seeing her other grandchild when they were burned and not helping the other daughter. Like, they still dealt with her with that. So why would they choose a side just because she made some comments you didn't like after you were difficult to communicate with, Chantel? Like, stop. And Chantel could have a point. It's just, again, the way she's going about it. And I think that's why Jackie told her in this episode she looked like a fool. Nobody's going to respect it. And the people who do respect it probably need therapy themselves or have no education whatsoever as it relates to any type of psychology of how people move or any of that. Like, it's a lot of unqualified individuals commenting on these people's television, you know, and what we see. But I don't know. They're irking me. But Chantel says she's going to take it to hell and wants everybody to choose between her and her mom, which is dumb. But we get to a cast dinner, and this is where I was kind of like, okay, this is why I think Chantel is just like her mama. They both a little slow because, Jackie, why did you show up at that dinner? Why did you show up? You know you don't want to talk about your child. You know they're going to keep bringing up your child. I understand that Jackie's about her little check, but at some point I'd be going to production, HR with the TV network, whatever the hell, and addressing it. That's ridiculous. Or I want to see Jackie on camera calling Doug. I want to hear what Doug has to say about all of this because the rumors is swirling all in the press that they're having problems. And I feel like if they are having problems, it's because of that child, Chantel. Because it seems like she wants to compete with her mom for her father's attention or the space as, like, the queen bee in their family. I see a lot of competition between the two of them, and I don't like it. But Jackie's there, and this is where Ming brings up the fact that Denise is much better and easier to deal with alone than with the rest of them dumb hoes, which is the truth. And this is, well, they said versus with Brittany, because Chantel ain't barely around to be asking nobody to take sides. Bitch, you hardly film. The hell? That makes no sense. But This opens up things for the group to discuss and address Brittany and Denise. And everybody's pretty much agreeing, like, Denise, like, you're too much. You're causing a lot of mess, because every rumor, everything that's repeated, everything that is mentioned or discussed seems to come from Denise, which I don't understand. I don't understand it at all. I just don't. But I'm glad that they're finally calling out Denise. Denise is the worst kind of person, the worst kind of friend. The friend that act like they're so supportive, on your side, fight for you, when the reality of it is that friend just enjoys tumultuous drama. There are people like that who think that just because they're in some drama constantly, that they need to go and involve themselves and comment on other people's drama. There's also people that's miserable and protect their own peace, but are looking forward to disrupting others. And I feel like Denise is one of those chicks. She also seems like a dingbat and airhead and is not very cute in the face. So I don't understand why she even was casted for this show. I feel like it was so that Brittany could feel like she had an ally. But Denise does chime in to try and defend Brittany when the women are like, listen, you're vile. You're vile. And it just gets awkward. So then Chantel, she shows up to the dinner after they're trying to comfort Denise, and it gets quiet and awkward. And Chantel, I'd like everyone to view this. When Jackie comes around, it doesn't get quiet and awkward. Even if they're talking about her, even when Jackie is beefing with everybody like she was seasons ago, it doesn't get quiet and awkward. But when Chantel walks in a room, I can see that aside from Denise and Brittany, everybody is just drained. Like, and I know that Chantel don't like Mrs. Best Reviews for my opinions on this show. I don't feel like I've attacked her, but when you walk in a room and the energy goes from positive to negative, baby girl, you're the problem. And it may be a result of how she had to grow up, because we can't negate her feelings. Her feelings are valid to a certain extent, but the way that she's addressing them and seeking resolution is off. And it's so off that she walks into a room and a dark cloud comes about that look like it's going to bring nothing but a headache. So Chantel really needs to pay attention to that and stop trying so hard to attack her mama and maybe be her own person, get to know everybody, and show us more of the baby. Because Chantel has a storyline. I don't get it. You want to give your mom more of a platform and make her more of a topic to discuss, when you could be showing your husband what it's like to balance this strange marriage where you're all over the country and he's somewhere else. Show us your marriage. All we saw was your husband in a hotel room on a bed that he couldn't really fit on, playing with the baby running across the floor. Side note, if that's your house, fine. But if I'm in a hotel, I'm not letting my child crawl across no dirty ass floor. And people don't clean like that. They don't, especially in California. But I'm a little annoyed with it all. So Ming decides when Chantel comes to tell Jackie, I'm riding for your daughter. Great, Javelina pig. Oink, oink. Good for you. Somebody go get her some slop or something to eat. I don't understand why Ming would engage with the we gonna take sides, but Ming gives me ignorance who got lucky and came up based on her skills as it relates to fashion and hair. Ming does not give me anybody that is too, up there. She just doesn't. But when she said that, I looked at Chantel, and Chantel smiled to see certain people choosing to take the side of her, not her mom. So she's taking satisfaction and enjoyment out of watching her mom suffer. How dare you? You don't get to cry victim about having a fucked up childhood if that childhood results in you enjoying seeing someone suffer. And that's what I saw. That tells me right there, Chantel doesn't want any accountability or apology from her mom. She wants to see her squirm and suffer, which we already kind of knew. But, everyone gets disrespectful with Jackie. And I don't understand why, again, the people can't talk privately or encourage Jackie and her daughter to have a conversation privately. So Jackie gets up and walks away. And what does Brittany Renner, the bully and pass around hoe of this time, have to say? Go, Deadbeat, go. In the words of Ming and every other lady there, Brittany is taking the situation and taking out her anger that she has for her mother on Jackie. I also think maybe the reason Brittany has slept with half of whoever's relevant, it seems, on the social media, maybe because of her issues with her mother. And she needs to address that instead of trying to hide behind a religion that she doesn't actually connect or practice. Let's just call a spade Like, I don't understand it. So Jackie leaves, and I wanted Jackie to go snatch that hijab off her head when she was screaming, "Go deadbeat, go!" Because I feel like at this point she has a right to, but I also feel like if she does that, they're just going to be like, "See, same old Jackie." Well, are we saying same old Evelyn cast members? Like, she's still climbing over tables, and remember a couple seasons ago, patting the coochie about OG coming after Jen and her man. Like, there is a double standard, and I don't like it. But Chantel then complains about Jackie walking away. And I'm like, Chantel, your friends are literally calling your mother a deadbeat. Let me tell y'all something about this little heifer. Doug was the one running around playing basketball and handling business. Yes, Jackie had nannies the same way Chantel has nannies. But in my opinion, she was fed. She was not abused physically. The other one, Jackie did some effed up stuff too, but as for Chantel, I'm looking like, girl, you doing too much. I would never let nobody call my mama a deadbeat, even if she was. I wouldn't. That's not your space. Like, certain things that you say to people in the real world would get you fucked up. And I think that Brittany Renner likes to behave this way on camera when she has protection, but she would never in real life. Brittany need her ass whooped, in my opinion, y'all. But I don't understand why Chantel won't just talk to her privately. Like, I don't understand it. What's poppin', Shanny? I am early and on the clock. I have a lot of homework I have to do later on. So I was like, let me just get into this and get it going. I'm also considering getting rid of my music reactions, music reviews, anything music related on the channel, and sticking more to the reality TV stuff, because I really do appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch or listen to our little opinions on this show. And it's a lot funner. I don't know if y'all know rappers, singers, artists. They are not the easiest people to deal with. I don't have time. I don't. I'm glad. Because I got to be done by 11:15. My time. Because I have to go to a meeting on Teams. But moving forward, y'all, Ty follows after Jackie. I'm sorry, Shanny. She said, I'm working too. We all need a vacation. I'll have a vacation the week of Thanksgiving, but it's so far away. It's so far away, y'all. Ty follows Jackie after she walks out, and so does Brandy. But Jackie's like, I'm not dealing with you, Brandy, and only talks to Ty, which I understand because Brandy is flip-flopping. Brandy is taking accountability, and I see what Brandy's going through. I feel like Brandy feels bad because, as she keeps stating, her initial issue was what kind of caused this. But I also think Brandy has to understand that if it wasn't her, it would have been someone else. Jackie kind of Chantel came on the show, and I think any small thing would have made her go off on her mom. I just do. It's just the way it is. But she doesn't want to talk to Brandy at all. And Brandy goes back to the table and pretty much explains that Jackie didn't want to talk to her. Brittany questions her and is like, why would you get up and go? Little bitch, this ain't even your fucking situation. I don't understand what her problem is. I don't. I really don't. And I'm starting to think with Brittany's mom's situation, like Brittany was probably partially responsible for it as well. Because she has a lot of smoke and it don't make no sense. Why are you questioning Brandy for going over Jackie and walking away? Why does Chantel need 7 bitches to stick beside her and stick up for her? And Jackie can't have 1 or 2 women go check on her. Like, why is Brittany mad? Shani says she came on this show to try and make her mother look crazy. She did. But even if she didn't, why is it Brittany Renner okay for Chantel to have 5 people sitting to support her and Jackie can't have 1? It doesn't even make sense for Brittany to have gotten upset with Brandy about that. And, Brittany questions, Brandy gets disrespectful. And I do agree with Brandy. Brittany is given obsessed with Chantel. Given obsessed. And definitely is taking out her own issues on Jackie, which makes no sense. And in the midst of it all, Brittany calls Brandy a bitch for no reason. And I'm like, but if somebody call you a name, you're going to lose your mind and start screaming in your hijab. Girl, I wish Brittany would just go back to dropping it low and spreading it wide for random niggas on the internet, because that was working better for her than this. I don't understand why she came back onto Basketball Wives. And I'm offended as someone who grew up in Islam. for her to come into it, because I think it's one of the most disciplined religions that you could have. It also, and I respect that in the people who actually follow the religion. So for her to be doing this bullshit is just disgusting. She got some nerve saying anything to anybody. Shani said it's nobody's business but Jackie and her daughters, and her daughter just keeps putting everybody in the middle of it. She's whack. Brittany, you need to stop. You don't want it with Brandy. She will drag you. Preach. Preach. Because she will. And then they'll be looking at Brandy like Brandy's the problem, because that's what y'all like to do to Geminis. Y'all poke us, and then when we get your ass, oh my God, you're awful. Well, then don't poke me. I'm not going to go touch a rose bush with my bare hands. I'm going to get poked and prodded. Come on now, y'all. Do better. Do better. But Ming then announces to the group that they're going to go on a boat ride the next day. And she also behaves like a childish 20-year-old and says, but we're not going to invite Jackie. Jackie, leave the show. Because when you leave the show, then they won't have shit to talk about. Your daughter included. I actually think this is a situation where Jackie would benefit from blocking her daughter. Because if the baby want to reach her, she could call her daddy or Dougie. Move on. I actually respect the older sister. She tried with Jackie, didn't work, wrote her book, moved on. So I just cannot. Now, Ty felt like she was rubbed wrong by the fact that Jackie is not going to be allowed on the boat. Like they're voting her off the island when she flew 5 hours to Honolulu like the rest of them. And Jackie explains her piece again, which most of the world act like they don't understand. She says that she only walks away to prevent from having further issues with her daughter. If she talks to her daughter in public, somebody in her family is probably going to have something to say to her. If she talks to her daughter in private, it's probably not going to go well. And then as he said, she said, I don't blame Jackie for walking away. I think that Jackie met her match in her child, and her karma will be Chantel to a certain extent in terms of the headache. But if I were Jackie, just explain, like, I'm willing to talk to her in therapy to give them what they want and shut them up. And then if they say, okay, that's a start, say, I'll even let her pick the therapist and set it up. The daytime. If Jackie would just show up and say that, then they can't say nothing. So I do kind of wish she would word things better, but she is careful. She's not dumb. This is a cast trip. Jackie can come as she wants to. Ming ain't pay for this trip. We know she didn't. Not with plastic surgery that looked that way. There's no way she had that. Makes no sense. Shani said, Brittany, you said Brandy likes to pick who she gets the gas with you. Don't want her to step on that pedal with you. Right. Because if she chooses, she'll be screwed. But Brittany, in Brittany's mind, is a professional gangster. Come to Oakland, Britt. Come to the town. And behave the way you behave with this girl and her mama with anybody out here. They'll be dragging her from fucking East 14th all the way to El Camino. I can't stand her. I just cannot. Moving forward, we got to see Chantel and this damn baby, Noah. Her kid's cute. To me, I don't see what, like, I guess the agents see for, like, baby models. I'm never that impressed with them. Like, not the babies, but I'm like, to me, all babies are kind of cute. You know, there's a few handfuls out there. And Chantel's baby's cute, but I'm just like, can the boy learn how to eat or walk before you put him into modeling? But she has her child there because he got an agent. Yeah, I'm kind of over it. But I was here because it seems like it was brought up at some point that Brittany is only going through a spiritual change for Kevin Gates, who is a public Muslim. Just so everyone understands too, not all realms of Islam believe that you should have multiple wives. That's not at all. It's kind of like those Christian cults. Like, not every Christian follows that foolery. Like, I have my own opinions on Kevin Gates, but that's another day, another time, another topic, y'all. But Jackie arrives to the boat ride. Everybody's surprised that Jackie's at this boat ride. And this is where Ming asked Ty if she invited Jackie, and they're mad. I was disgusted at Chantel also on this boat ride for laughing at her mom being seasick, but Jackie had that Dramamine and figured it out. And we see when Chantel has her son and is doing stuff, you know, she meets with Ty after they get off the boat, and Chantel is basically asking Ty why she would invite Jackie on the boat ride. And I don't know. Ty, again, was right. Jackie and Chantel are one and the same. I can't even dissect the conversation because the stupidity that comes out of Chantel's mouth is baffling. It's baffling. Most people would want her to have a good relationship with her mom. It seems like she just wants to fight anyone who wants her to have peace or anyone who knows her mom. But she's not fighting her dad or her brother, who are also very close to her mom. So that I can't anymore with it because we're going to talk about the same thing over and over and over in circles. Chantel, get a life and a therapist. But we get to another dinner with the women, and the older women decide to discuss accountability at the table. And I'm going to let you guys know right now, I am not interested in discussing the drama with Ty or Ming. I'm not. I don't care. Here's the thing. I think the LGBTQ community is slowly gaining more support and acceptance compared to like the climate of society many years back, right? But I also think it's important to be respectful. There are people who are truly lesbians, truly gay, truly trans. And then there's bitches like Ming, who probably got her heart broken because, no shade to her, she's not too much wife material. And now, because she was struggling when hopping on the dick, she done slithered on into the kitty cat. And it seems as if all Ming needs to move on from any partner, girl, boy, anything in between, is some new dick or some new whatever, some new work. So I'm looking and I'm like, why do we care? We just met them. Ty has a tumultuous dating history. Ty also has a history of dating women who are not gay, have never moved as they're bisexual. Ty has a habit of dating women who seem to be only gay because they got their heart broken. Kind of like the gay for the stay thing when you in jail. That's what it's given. And to me, Ming is that way as well. That part, Shani. Shani said maybe the new dick is paying the bills. I don't know, but I don't care about their storyline. I'd rather it be genuine. Like when we saw Ty with Mimi Faust on Love and Hip Hop years and years ago, it seemed more authentic. I think since then, Ty just be moving around, juggling people. And it's cool, but I also want Ty to like look at herself and say, what is it about me as a woman that only likes women, that is attracted to women who she will never know if they truly really want her or not, because they only seem to get with Ty when they break up with their men. And I do like Ty. I feel like she deserves better. She could also do a little work to be a little better of a spouse, but yeah. But that's the last I'll talk about Ty and the Javelina Pig, as James Jackson calls them, Ming Lee, because it's stupid. If you're lying about being with someone at that age or getting tattoos at that big age and success to prove your love to someone without a ring or a title, then you're dumb. But based on the size of Ming's BBL, I don't expect the smarter things from her. But okay. Brittany's silence comes up at the table because she's sitting there quiet while everybody else is talking. I don't know why the fuck they brought up her silence. I was happy as hell she finally shut the fuck up, personally. But they bring up Brittany's silence and they bring up the fact that Brittany called Brandy a bitch for no reason. And Brittany refuses to apologize and uses God, Ashantu Allah. It's like a term that people use kind of like in Christianity if you're repentant for your sins, or in Catholicism if you're going and confessing in the little confessional to the priest. Similar to that. How dare any fucking body use their religion as a way to get out of apologizing to someone that they have disrespected? Because if Brandy would have called Brittany a bitch, all hell would have broke loose. But Brittany feels like she can call Brandy a bitch just because she doesn't like how Brandy supported something that has nothing to do with Brittany. Because that's Chantel's mom, Chantel's issue, Chantel's storyline that Brittany has been writing this whole time. Talk about your own colorless mama. Talk about that, Brittany. Don't come on here doing that, though. Figure out your own shit with your mom before you attack other people. And if you're going to call people out their name, I want to see her in the street call somebody a bitch and watch how fast that hijab comes off. Also, an insult to Muslim women everywhere. Why are you even in that? She's not even wearing a hijab and the abaya correctly. You wear that once. I'm not even going to tell y'all all the rules. She's playing with everybody's face and in everyone's face. So she refuses to apologize, uses Allah as a way to make up for her shortcomings, as she says. When in the reality is, if she really wants to practice the type of Islam that Kevin Gates follows, that her ass should be put into the fucking public and stoned for her behavior. But we'll leave it there. Miss Brittany. Denise tries to chime in, also something that has nothing to do with her. And I was happy because finally Evelyn checked the right person. And Teresa's like, you're yelling at me and, I don't have a voice. Evelyn said, we tired of you. Let me tell you, when a woman over 35 does that, she's tired. When the fingers and them hands get to pointing at you, Evelyn must have thought she was talking to Shanice again when she was younger. She said, we tired of you. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it because we are tired of Denise. We are tired of Denise. Nobody even likes you. Why are you here? Oh, culture appropriating raggedy hoe. That's what she is. As quiet as kept. But, Britt and the Three Stooges refused to acknowledge that it was wrong to call Brandy a name. I said, so you're screaming at everybody about how they need to side with Chantel. Give Chantel respect. Give Chantel grace. But y'all can scream and call people out their names with no issue. And Chantel just sat there and let it happen. Chantel is a coward pussy. I'm so sorry. She's scary. She one of these Nepo babies that don't know how good she got it. Because you're attacking your mom. You let this girl holler, go deadbeat, go. But then you're also letting people holler and act a fool at the table. Check your friends and say you shouldn't have called her a bitch. I don't understand that. That's why I don't mess with females though. Like Brittany, Chantel, they're all around my age group. I'm 33. I believe they're like 31 and 30. This is why I don't mess with chicks too much my age. Most of my friends are older, honestly, or males if they're my age. Most of my female friends though are at least 5 to 10 years older than me at the minimum. Because I don't understand why people do this and why people act like that at a certain age. Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's no type of loyalty. There's no nothing. That was pretty much the episode. Let me catch the comments. Channy said a disrespectful bitch does that. Okay. Crack it up when Jackie said, I ain't had the meal since we've been here. I'm not coming to that dinner tonight. I'm hungry. Damn. I cannot. Oh, Lord. She told her to shut up in her New York accent. I can't. I am younger. I'm aware of that because I do a lot of social work for seniors. I used to work at a senior center that worked with the city of San Francisco. So I'm used to hearing now, oh, you're so young. And I like it because older people remind you you've done well for yourself for your age. But I also get annoyed when people my age do shit like this. Like, grow up and behave. Please. Lord. She has. Jackie hasn't gotten a meal. Not one meal, y'all. I'd be so upset if I was Jackie and these hoes was having me hungry as hell. Because look at Jackie. Jackie ain't even going to play with us about being rail thin or loving to exercise. Okay? They playing with her food. But honestly, fun fact, the food in Hawaii is not that great. If you want good food in Hawaii, you need to go away from Waikiki Beach and Honolulu. And not to the North Shore. You got to go somewhere in between all of that. Talk to the actual locals that will talk to you. And then get directed to the food. Or go to Kauai. But Honolulu, the food is terrible. Kind of like Miami. Crazy. But that's pretty much all that is. No, I did not call you old, Shani. I don't even know your age, girl. I would never. Older people, though. Anybody older than me, I love them. I don't care. They better because people my age be stupid. It's a fact. But that's it for this recap. It looks like James wasn't able to join. I think this Negro fell asleep on me. He did get off of work, I believe at like 7 or 8 a.m. I will be back live again later this afternoon around 3:30 or 4 o'clock my time, California time, 6, 7 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. I'll be back to do Bravo's The Valley. We'll also be going over MTV's Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let's see what else before we go. We I don't know if James is going to do Next Gen. He's had some trouble with consistency with that show. So he might do it on the weekend. It seems like weekends are easier for him to do that. And Housewives of Miami will recap tomorrow. And then Deb's House, the R&B edition, will be returning in August. I'll be taking that on. A bunch of shows. Yeah, next week. And now that I've seen the clip, Shanny, before we go, it looked like Chantel pushed her mama first. Why the fuck are you pushing me when I'm walking by you? So if Chantel pushed her mom and her mom took out, she's well within her right. And I'm going to say this since I know that she watches my lives and has blocked me. I actually had to deal with physical abuse where CPS got involved during my childhood, and I would never assault my parents. Stop it, Chantel. Keep your hands to yourself, little bitch, before you get knocked upside your head. Can't believe it. Anywho, y'all, I appreciate everybody. I do hope that y'all like the video. If there's a show that you would like for me to recap, I am taking suggestions. Please drop them in the chat. I'm looking to fill up what I was doing with my music content with my reality TV content. There's a topic you want to discuss, a panel, anything like that, feel free to let me know. I am taking all suggestions. Other than that, y'all, love and light to everybody. I'll see y'all next time. I hope that you liked the video. If you really like me, subscribe, and I will try to be off camera more. Makeup or not. Fuck it, right? All right. Adios.